Well, all right, all right, all right. Let's talk amplifiers. 7 years down the rabbit hole of tone, and this is what I've kept. My last video did so well, almost went viral, that I thought I would leave another regarding amps instead of guitars. But getting back to that other one, which will show up as a suggested video at the end of this one, the guitar I pick up the most is that silver Wolfgang with the triple roasted neck. Just love that guitar. I don't know why, but that's the one that speaks to me. So, amplifiers. I've played just about everything under $1,000 and even some that are pricier than that. Not to brag, but just to give you a reference. It'd be a lot easier to tell you what I haven't played versus what I have. I've played the PV line, the Blackstar line, the Marshall line. Last summer, I had a JVM 205 on an old 212 cab that came out of the Boardwalk's back line in Sacramento. Pretty cool. Played that for a summer, but it really was no bigger or better than the DSL line. The DSL line is solid. So before we get too far into that, though, I wanted to give you two pieces of advice. The first one, which is the best piece of advice I ever got, is to buy gear for what you play 80% of the time. The other 20%, if it's metal or blues or whatever, you can fake it with the gear you have. But buy for what you play 80% of the time. Okay? Secondly, if you have a guitar hero out there, John Sykes, Yngwie, Angus, Phil X, I don't know, whoever it might be, Billy Strings. If that is the sound you want, instead of chasing it all over the globe, find out what they have, save your money, and buy that. I think you'll save yourself lots of money in the long run, and you'll get to what you think you want right away. It's all subjective, but it's been an interesting journey, which I've really appreciated. But these are the amps I have. Let's talk about them a little bit. This right here is a Friedman cab. It's got a creamback in it, the G12M Celestian creamback. It's partially open cab, and it's big. That's the reason I have it. The problem with most 1x12 cabs is they're just way too small. It's no different than playing with a combo. If you want your sound to be bigger, you need a bigger cab, a Fat Boy or an oversized 1x12. It's worth the extra dinero. Or you can build your own, which I've done also. This cab over here is a closed back V30 cab, and I've got that because for some things you do want a closed back V30 or a DV77 by Eminence, some sort of. But for most Marshall flavored amps, I think the creamback's the way to go. Partially open, you get a lot of sound out of the back of it. Fills the room up nicely. It's awesome. All right, the Soldano is an expensive one, but it is phenomenal. Really like it. American made. It's got a good reputation, and it does cover a lot of ground. The clean channel doesn't have a lot of headroom, but the drive channel and the distortion channel are really great. Not the tightest amp in the world, but takes pedals great, and it's just inspiring. It's got a great tone. Now, I have the Tweaker 15 on top of it for a good reason. This is my third Egnater Tweaker 15, and I've had the Rebel, the 40. I've had quite a few tweakers. Great amps. They're dependable as heck. Great service team stands behind them. I've had three, not because they fail, but because I sell it and then realize I miss it and buy another one. And then I sell it and then I realize I miss it. Super fun. And the cool thing about the 15 is you can get the master way up, pretty much dimed in here, which is pretty loud, but you can get the master up and it doesn't blow things off the walls like with the DSL 20 or the Soldano, the Slow 30. So it's super fun amp. Now, the reason it's on this is because in some aspects, the crunch tone and that driven Marshall tone, like Sammy Hagar in the 80s, these two almost sound exactly alike, which is a little embarrassing because this is 200 and this is 2000. But the Tweaker's a great little, I wouldn't even say first beginner's amp. They're super affordable, super cheap, and they just sound great. And they've got a lot of switches and doodads on them, But everything does something. There isn't a switch that you flick and you're not sure you really even hear a difference. With this, everything does do something. So really cool, and I'll probably be throwing up a comparison because it's just kind of funny and it's kind of embarrassing. Now, is it identical? No, but over YouTube, I don't think you'll be able to tell a difference between the two. The Slow is just bigger and better at everything, but at lower volumes, they sound really similar, and I don't think you'll be able to hear the difference. All right, moving on. We've got the DSL line. Turns out I'm a Marshall guy. I do not like American amps. I've had the run of Fender amps. I've had Mesas, several Mesas, and ear fatigue is a real thing. Don't let anyone else talk you out of ear fatigue being real. Mesas, regardless of which one I've had, after 20 minutes of playing, I just want to turn it down because it hurts. With these, after 20 minutes of playing, I want to just turn it up more because it sounds so good and it's not hurting my ear. So something about the Mesas just creates ear fatigue, and I don't like it. So I turned out I'm a Marshall guy. It took me years to figure that out, but you have to figure it out for yourself. You can be told for a long time that something's bad, or that it hurts to stick your head under a bus tire, but for whatever reason, a lot of us can't learn from other people's wisdom or mistakes. We got to find things out for ourselves. So it turns out I'm a Marshall guy, and the DSL line is phenomenal. In the larger heads like the 20 or the JBM or others, you will want to, in my opinion, take the tube out of V1 and replace that 12AX7 preamp tube with a 12AY XTYU in the order of gain. U's way too low. It's like 40% gain. But replace that first one with a Y, 12AY7. It's cheap, 20 bucks or so. And it changes the character of the amp in an awesome way. Takes out a lot of the high-end sizzle and really increases the crunch characteristic of the amp. You'll still have plenty of gain to get into Zakk Wylde territory, Sabbath, etc., etc. Dang it. I gotta take this. Hello? Yeah. All right. Well, I'm back. Thank you for your patience. So we were talking about the DSL line, and the DSL 20 head also is a much different experience than the DSL 20 combo. With the head and a cab, you're much bigger, much more bass, much fuller tones. The 20 combo is handy, but the cabinet's just not big enough to do the amp justice. So that would be the way to go. That would be my recommendation. I have the DSL-1, kick-ass little amp, the DSL-5 combo that I retrofitted with a 12-inch greenback, which is an awesome amp. Don't remember if I talked about it before, but I've put hundreds of hours on that thing, and it's just great. Probably the best practice amp, small watt amp ever. And then the DSL is plenty for most situations. Live, at home, it's fun. Like with any Marshall, you do need to get the masters up a little bit before they sound real good. Unlike the Soldano or the Jack by Victory, whose masters can be down a little bit. I've had a lot of the Friedmans too, and really enjoyed them, and they're built amazingly well. Really great designed amps inside, but they just never settled in. They just never found a home in my tone. And then the Engels Fireball and Iron Ball, and liked those two. The Fireball was very Marshall-esque, but just never didn't have enough. It was gainy, but to me, it didn't have enough. So anyway, now the last one I have is the Jack by Victory, and this is as if the PV Invective and the EVH Stealth had a baby. that's kind of what this is. I sold both my Invective Mini Head and the EVH Stealth, which were really my go-tos for a very long time, because this amp covers both of those tones amazingly well. Great effects loop, easy to dial in a tone. The clean channel is very nice, and the crunch channel has a lot of variability, and it sounds good with both low distortion and low gain and high gain settings. Some amps, have a sweet spot, and if you go down on the gain, it just doesn't sound very pleasing. The Jack by Victory, plenty loud, great compact design, and covers a wide range of tones. The crunch channel is awesome, clean, takes pedals well, and then the high gain side of it also really, really great. And it comes with a bunch of foot switches allowing you to make all those cool changes. All right, so I think that does it for me. Sorry about the interruption, but I think I got most everything out before I had to be taken away. That's it for amps. If you have any questions about specific amps, by all means, give me a ring in the old comment section. Otherwise, we'll be back one or two more times, do an A/B with these two, and show you what overdrives I've kept as well. All right, Old Guy Jammin' is out. Take care.